So today, myself, Ben, and with Joseph,
Hello.
who's head of our marketing and operations, are going to review a lot of things that have been going on over the last 6 to 9 months. We've been pretty busy, heads down, continuing our mission to bring an integrated security solution to the SMB space that's easy to use, affordable, and extremely powerful. We've learned a lot over the years, and we started with just a firewall. And as we've grown, we've added a number of elements to help weave the components together, all in effort to pursue the mission of our founder, which is putting together a distributed information sharing platform to shift the advantage to the defenders. And what we've learned over the many years is that while there are a lot of great point solutions in the marketplace, they're great EDR tools, they're great firewall tools, they're great email tools. Very few of them actually talk together. They don't work together. And so what that results in are gaps, challenges, costs, complexity. It creates a significant tax to the defender, the network maintainer, and the protector. Ultimately, it ends up taxing our customers, our small businesses, and posing threats in the form of hidden gaps, whether or not it's an Internet of Things device, an unpatched firewall, or an unmonitored laptop. All of these things can allow adversaries to fall through the cracks, and increasingly living off the land using native tools to attack our customers, which is rather scary. So with that, we've really been forced to drive a journey towards security maturity, one that brings operational synergies together to drive the goals of Lawrence and bringing the platform to fruition. And as we've done that, we realized that there are really 4 key elements to make the pieces work. First is the infrastructure. That's the pieces that connect the systems together, that provide the networking topography. It's the Wi-Fi's, it's the wireless access points, it's the switches, the routers, the firewalls. It's also the software, the endpoint agents and the log relays. All the security infrastructure that needs to be implemented to establish a secure environment and manage that. And then you've got to manage it. And that's where you need to make sure that you're aware of things are up to date, how they're configured, what's going on. And then on top of that, you need to bring the capability to monitor the right activity. The right signals need to be ingested and generate alerts, and ultimately lead to response, investigations, and feedback. And the outcome of that, in an orchestrated implementation of a security infrastructure that's effectively managed and monitored, we get threat intelligence. And that's the aggregated, validated indicators that we can share in our community to drive enhanced protection. That's how we drive the cost down and the security posture up for our clients. This is a game not of widgets, not of tools, but it's a game of proper alignment and coordination. Without that, we will not achieve the efficiencies and the economies needed to implement effective security. So that leads us really to the first place where that comes, and that's our partner portal. And Joseph, I know you've been working hard on the portal to bring a number of pieces together so that we can work with our partners and customers to do that. Tell us what's happening in the partner portal.
Sure. After a few years, we've now augmented the partner portal to assist you in seeing your fleet and seeing your accounts. So the first thing I wanted to show you here is the account page got a facelift, and really it came about because of Community Shield Plus. And so we have separated your partner account with the managed customers that you would have with Community Shield Plus. Now, most of you don't have Community Shield Plus, so you wouldn't see this, but for those who have it already, can now see that they have their deployments separated in a very organized way.
So fundamentally, what's important is that we now, with the coordinated incident response service offered with Community Shield Plus, we need to have very clear lines of communication rules of engagement, and organization around accounts. And so with our partner portal and the power that Salesforce enables, we can have child accounts that are easily nested within each partner account. And it's most visibly with the contacts, right, Joseph?
Yes. So originally, like we had before, contacts were limited to one account. We have now split it out to sub accounts for the managed customers. So you can deem the authorized person that needs to have the information or any kind of communications for that location.
One of the important aspects from our end is knowing who are the right parties to contact when and for what, and what do they have authority to do. And in any effective incident response plan, that's fundamental. Who's on what base, who does what. And so this provides us the framework to associate the right contacts for your incident response planning.
So to go along with the other updates that we had for the accounts and the contact, network sites has also gotten a bit of a facelift. I think I might have brought this up a little bit before, but we've added a couple of different things like the ability to download a CSV of your site, of all your sites in one PDF CSV, but it's also easier to see. You can still drill into the network site and see all the information, but it's on face value, it's a facelift.
So it does attempt to give you a more immediate visibility on lots of different sites. So it is quite a facelift. In terms of the users, Joseph, there are a lot of different roles that people can have. Walk us through that for the portal.
Sure. Just a reminder for everyone that the knowledge base in a lot of the parts of the partner portal is open to the public. So it's not behind any kind of like username, password, login, and that's freely available. So all the knowledge base and the articles associated with that are freely available. Once you are a partner and you have a fleet, you can have a tech and an admin role. Tech is really just for the security network sites and stuff. Admin would be more of an account level, higher level to
pricing, billing, that type of information, the economics,
the partner program documents and everything like that. Then it goes even further to CCM. CCM does require a license, and that's how we do that here. It's elevated from the tech and admin to go for CCM.
So there are really three elements now to the portal. There's the knowledge base portal, which has the contact differentiation. And then there's the addition of the Calyptix AccessEnforcer management console, which we call CCM or Calyptix Cloud Manager. And then there's the integrated Wi-Fi portal for the wireless devices, which is connected single sign-on. So those three pieces, and that CCM includes the Wi-Fi and switch ancillary devices. So that's kind of a segue into the other devices. So with that infrastructure, in addition to the routing capability, a number of partners over the years have asked us to add additional devices that followed really the same principles that we abide by. That is easy to use, easy to do business with in terms of buying and licensing, and of course, always updated and maintained. So these are the different devices that we've added.
Right. We have two different flavors of Wi-Fi access points. One is a generic one, and the other one is a little bit more powerful. As you can see, you have the tri-band access point with Wi-Fi 6. If you continue, we have switches as well, 10-port switch and a 28-port switch. They both have SFP plus modules in them. And yeah.
And they are operating both, all of these at 2.5?
Yes.
Okay.
All the NICs on there are 2.5, except for the larger one actually has four 10 gigabit ports.
Oh, wow.
It also comes with the cloud console, so you would be able to drill into each device as well as the devices connected to them. See bandwidth, many other different pieces that you can get. Monitor signal strength and client performance, and pretty much all the visibility is there. And again, this is a single sign-on from the partner portal, so it's not another sign-on. It's just another window into your devices.
So with that, we'll sort of in sum, we're really excited about these companion devices. We encourage you to give them a try. when you're adding a new site. We think as you experience them, they're fairly, quite robust. We've been really pleased with them. So you'll have everything under one roof and one relationship. In terms of the AccessEnforcer, the team's been working hard to continue to add capabilities, reliability, and functionality. Those improvements are, of course, included in your subscription. There's no new feature charge, and it's really just subject to ensuring you have current hardware that can support it. As you do evaluate the hardware that we deploy, particularly in this environment where hardware is getting increasingly expensive, I'd like to draw the fact that the hardware that we've deployed has always been substantially, more robust. It's in terms of the processing, the RAM capability, and the storage capacity on these devices. There's a lot more there than meets the eye, and so we're excited about what we could do with the edge compute and the edge data in the coming year.
Now, while we're talking about hardware, we do have to say that AccessEnforcer AE 1500 will go end of sale now.
So this is the intermediate unit, and we are working to update you on replacements. We may have a few remaining. We're working with our vendor to see later this week what availability may be. But by and large, these are limited availability, if any.
For new sites. And with that, plan on your upgrade process to change just a little bit. We have the 1500. The suitable replacement for that would be the 1900. The 900 pretty much is not up to the specs that it needs to be an equal replacement
for the 15.
Correct.
Yep. Terms of opportunity, we're talking about hardware cost.
So yeah, we have summer deals right now. Right now on our monthly, we have the 900. We have reduced hardware cost. So if you go into the partner portal, you see the actual price. So log into the partner portal, go to pricing, policies, and agreements, and you'll be able to see that right there. If you have any more questions about that, you can ask your account success manager. But we also have on the annual units, you can buy 3 years for the price of 2. So you get an extra year total on your deployment. So if you're looking to push something out for 3 years or 4 years even, we will do a reduced year. We will give you a free year out of that.
It's a great opportunity to help your small business customers stretch their dollars with the multi-year promotion. Mm-hmm. And also things can be a little slower in the summer, so it could be a good business opportunity for you as well. Along with those two hardware and sale opportunities, we've got a spiff or promo as well around our Yeti cooler.
Yep. Along with these promotions, this is included too. So if you buy 5 AccessEnforcer units, monthly or annual, you will receive a $250 Yeti cooler shipped to you.
We're excited to announce that we have one. Our first taker on that was Conrad McKnight up at Triad PC Support.
Yeah, we just wanted to give a spotlight on the Conrad. Has been with us for a long time, since 2021, I believe. In Lexington, North Carolina, has been a great partner with us and has been growing with us over the years. And we wanted to give a good shout out to him right now.
So we appreciate that continued support of us, and we look forward to supporting Conrad and his growth in the Triad in the coming months and years. So in terms of hardware, we are evaluating new models, and we anticipate new models coming in Q4 of 2026. So those will take into account the same tried and true principles we've had in the past, really reliable hardware, compute, memory, and storage. We are looking at some different form factors, and if you have particular needs, either larger or smaller environments, let us know sooner than later, and we'll be happy to share with you what we've got going on there if you have some opportunities that we can help with. In terms of the software updates, a lot of the updates on version 7 have been focused on reliability and WAN capability. We probably don't need to go in the nitty-gritty here. Some have been around VPN capability on the DHCP WAN changes, renewals, as well as some other elements. Many of you may know that the Anthropic Mythos uncovered quite a few bugs in many software bundles. There was only one that was identified in an OpenBSD version, which was not exposed in our implementation. However, the team did roll out that patch regardless. So we're keeping that software up to date, as well as the various packages that are incorporated with the system. Additional improvements and updates, including a couple different patches or updates to OpenSSH, moving up to version 10.3, as well as improving the performance of the HTTPS filter. Our developer calls that Vroom. If you've not yet tried that, I would really draw your attention. The subscription includes, at no charge, the Bright Cloud Threat Intelligence feed for web traffic. So you can activate as a default malware, botnet, phishing sites, and block both HTTP and HTTPS sites. And the historical, many of you may have experienced some slowdowns over the years, but the speed and the memory usage now of that HTTPS inspection is minuscule. It's substantially lower, and the benefit of that Bright Cloud piece is very high. So I would encourage you to use that. We also did some updates around IKE v2, which is the recommended IPsec protocol, as IKE v1 has now been deprecated by the authorities and the folks that give the guidance on different cryptographic modules and the like. So if you're still using IKE v1, we encourage you to use IKE v2 and to update that implementation on your IPsec pairs. And now it kind of turns us to Community Shield, which is our raison d'etre, is to collect and share threat intelligence. And it is to foster protection and drive the economics down for us and up for the bad guys. Highlighting what is happening in that ecosystem. We don't promote it a lot. We probably should do more. We have 7 organic feeds that your participation through your AccessEnforcer generates. Currently, the Community Shield in totality is almost 60,000 entries and a little under 15 million unique IP addresses. One of the most active feeds on our organic feed has been the failed login feeds over the last 12 months. We've also seen a huge increase percentage-wise in the international super scanners, although it's a smaller feed. So the numeric count is not as high, but it's significantly increased. And then we've got the others that have bumped up. The suspicious US IPs are those that are doing probes. We largely attribute that, if you haven't read about or investigated the risk of residential proxies, that's software that gets installed on many Internet of Things devices like cameras, picture frames, vacuum cleaners. But adversaries are using software supply chain distribution into those platforms to create residential proxies that are being used to launch attacks and expand their footprint. It's largely effort to create domestic US-based presence so that they have an easier time conducting attacks within the same footprint that they exist in. So, for instance, if they're able to compromise Verizon infrastructure customers, then they're going to target other Verizon customers and the like. So the stealthiness of the attacks continues to go up, as well as the manner of the attacks. From just sort of an aggregated feed basis, I kind of highlight this growth in the feeds that happened right in the middle of February. And if you'll notice, that was really driven by the failed login feed. So this is the feed count based in from the different organic feeds. And you'll see the one at the bottom really escalated from February to March. And what that was is the failed logins. So with Community Shield, we get more visibility, we get faster shared protection. So when they attack any one of you, we're distributing that immediately to the other sites. And so that protects both inbound and outbound traffic. And so corresponding to that same middle of February, we saw a huge spike in the observed source IPs that were on that active threat feed. So over the course of the year, almost 17,000 unique IP addresses, almost 200 million unique events. And when you drill down into it from the daily activity, you'll see that it tripped in a while back in sort of the fall or early winter. And then we had another peak in February. And more recently, we've seen this sort of daily series of escalation. And what we believe that is to be, it's associated with the Fortinet vulnerability and the associated passwords that are out there on that. So it's a lot of targeted attacks. If they think it's a Fortinet device, they're going to hammer it. And our devices are generally a little bit more obscured when they're scanning it, so they don't necessarily know what it is. So with that, I would highlight that it's important to activate restricted remote management access, your multi-factor capability, and your geofence. Those are optional configuration settings that it's on you to activate. I highly recommend that. Community Shield, of course, is deployed by default, and it's going to protect you at that base level. But if you'll notice, only about 20% of the attackers are coming from the U.S. infrastructure, which is one of the pieces that Community Shield helps us, our organic feeds, really highlight. And you'll see that that's coming from the public cloud infrastructure as a service. So whether they're using rental infrastructure or compromising cloud infrastructure that they're using, but it's also coming from commercial web hosting ISPs and residential broadband providers like the residential proxies. And we don't really see as much coming from the bulletproof hosting providers. Back in the day when we did more spam filtering, we saw a lot of spam come from those guys where they would literally just rent it. It's more from the rent a virtual server provider that we're seeing these attacks from. So again, reminder: activate geofence, activate restricted remote management, and your multi-factor. And also, we encourage you to use the Calyptix Cloud Manager for that. As these threats have escalated, we are adding a new feed that will be introduced with version 7.1. It's a Spamhaus ASN drop feed. The ASN is the autonomous system node, I think, which is the infrastructure provider. So Microsoft has their blocks, DigitalOcean has their blocks, and the thousands of different other block providers. And over the years, there are a number of blocks that have been identified as generally just bad. And so we've aggregated the IPs in a little under 13,000 entries, and this is a little under 3 million IP addresses currently. This will change. We've seen this number go up as high as 5 million, but it goes up and down. So when that's rolled out, that'll push the Community Shield aggregate feed, blocking inbound and outbound traffic to nearly 20 million IPs. We're real proud of that, and we'll be looking to expand that as we go. So that leads us next to the management component of the infrastructure, which is Calyptix Cloud Manager. So the team's been working quite hard on that. Nick, our lead developer, is eager to understand the items that you're interested in. So at a high level, the couple of big adds have been the job scheduler. So this allows you to take the capabilities of the Calyptix Cloud Manager and queue up or schedule changes across your fleet to do them when you want to do them, whether it's an update, a restart, policy updates, that is, or other operational change. You can queue those in the job scheduler. And then those jobs are scheduled. They're visible in the dashboard, so you can see what's coming up and what's completed, what's failed. For instance, if a device has gone offline and the update's not be able to be executed, then that will show as well. It'll also show across multiple users. So if you have multiple users logging into Calyptix Cloud Manager, we want to make sure that we don't get conflicting scheduled queued tasks. So from a feature standpoint, we've added the capability to activate, create, edit, remove port forward rules. So quickly as things change, that can be done now from CCM. In addition, you can combine the port forward capability with the job scheduler to actually create time-based port forwarding rules. So one of our good partners, Rick at Reliable, talked about the third axiom of your attack surface. You know, you've got your vertical surface and your lateral surface, but your chronological surface is another attack surface that you can manage now through your CCM implementation. I think he called that in the military the green zone or something like that. But temporarily, you can now disable port forward rules by the hour of the day, day of the week, and you can do that there quite easily. So if you've got systems that don't need to be exposed from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m., disable it. It's a very targeted capability, but we think it's a significant opportunity to reduce your attack surface. And then another element that was added is the power control. So you can now restart or shut down AccessEnforcer directly from CCM. And again, you can combine that with your job scheduler as well as to schedule it in the future. Or if you did want to schedule a recurring item, I think that's doable as well. Yeah. On the restart. Here's a quick view of the scheduler, just showing how simple that can be to schedule a job, and it's showing the queue changes and the response. And this is followed by the capability to do the port forwarding as well in CCM. So there's a lot of additional items that have been done around optimizing login and loading experience for larger fleets. We did have some partners with larger fleets where that needed to be worked on. So we appreciate the feedback on that to enhance that. I'd also like to draw attention to some things that you can do on CCM, Calyptix Cloud Manager, that you cannot do from your AccessEnforcer. For instance, you can tag and group your units as you need to. So this can allow you with those tags, whether or not it's similar configs or multiple devices for a single client, or maybe for a technician that's responsible for a group of, you can aggregate the units and bundle them for different visibility. You can sync across the fleet or those groups in terms of configuration changes. You can schedule shutdowns and reboots. You can do the time-based port forwarding. You can do whole fleet level review. You can even do selected device configuration comparison. And you can activate remote management. So on the box itself, you could have it set up to have no remote management access. But you need to get remote access, so you could actually enable remote access from CCM and enable it only for a single source IP. You can also activate for our support team the reverse SSH shell so that they can help you that way. That puts that access in your control, and it can be done with a timer so that it's not persistent and forever. Coming soon are areas such as auto provisioning, configuration templates, and deeper traffic analysis for tools such as your connection monitor and potentially more advanced AI type of investigations. But there's a lot with the data and the access. There are ways to bring those pieces together in a simple use. That transitions us to Community Shield Plus. I'm looking at Joseph, seeing if he wants to comment. I've been on a tear.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about Community Shield Plus. It's been years in the coming. And again, it leads from the recognition that in order to bring cohesive, mature security to small business, we need to bring the right security tools and systems together. So this brings the power of your AccessEnforcer, Community Shield Threat Intelligence, together with an open text enterprise SOC platform where they're running their SIM platform together with the SentinelOne endpoint agents. And we're able to bring all those together, including the Microsoft 365, into one single service offering. And we think this offers compelling advantages by having a seamless integration of data and sources with automated signal generation and forwarding. So you don't have to figure out what logs to forward. We've already done that for you. And we've worked with OpenText to create the right network-based investigations and the workflow around that. So what it does is aligns the people, process, systems, and tools in a very effective way, where each of us, from our customer to our partner to Calyptix to the OpenText SOC team, we all have clearly defined roles and responsibilities without the overlap. So it's that streamlined execution that yields efficiency and effectiveness for our customers. So what that looks like is getting all the right data from all the right systems into one continuous monitoring platform and workflow process that spits out the investigations for our partners with threat management cases where they're drawn their attention with the right information to investigate unauthorized activity or software or systems, pushing us earlier, than the breach. The SentinelOne tools, there's a lot of automated detection and immediate response there that's enabled. Where we are moving, upstream is the early detection of behaviors and activities that are unexpected or not generated by your clients. And it's moving upstream, up the kill chain on these living off the land capability that's going to help us eliminate these risks. This feeds into the customer portal and the partner portal to have clear visibility and auditability of alerting and case management. And it keeps it separate from your IT management. So if there's an incident event, it doesn't give purview of a lawyer to go, look at all of your IT stuff. We're isolating security incident response and management in a workflow that's distilled, visible, auditable, and trackable, where everybody has clear accountability and responsibility. So if your customer doesn't get back to you on the case because they're too busy to tell you whether or not it was they were working on that device, we can record that for you and protect you from the customer's non-responsiveness. So what this does from the customer's perspective is it gives visibility across their entire platform and data and systems. So we can generate signals from the cloud platforms, remote users on monitored devices, on-premise devices, both at the network level and at the endpoint level, as well as Internet of Things devices where there is no agent, which are increasingly a risk for on-premise environments, whether they're cameras, printers, or other IoT devices, NAS devices, and the like. We've seen a lot of those type of devices be the sources of these supply chain threats. So by bringing that context, as well as the understanding which zones they're operating from, and you've got the right separations, gives us a lot of understanding with the SOC on how to execute. From a Community Shield threat intelligence perspective, this allows us to drive, from signals to events to alerts, all the way to outcomes, including what I would call the unknown outcome. A lot of people like to push the information and say, oh, that's a false positive. But we're taking a really strong tack that a lot of times we see things on the network that the endpoint agents don't see. And until we've got a verified outcome, it's an unknown. And we'll work with you to reduce the noise so that your network inline visibility, that's where the control, the visibility, and the automated intelligence converge to give you control of every connection in and out of environment. And endpoints don't see all of that. And we are giving you an enhanced control point together with that workflow in a cyclical fashion. So, the vision is to take these observations and implement the right control policies around the traffic and so forth, collect the data, analyze it, investigate it, collaborate, learn, share, and use that to improve and enhance the security posture at your clients. We do that at every site. We do that at each individual site. As we aggregate that, it really does drive enhanced controls. And we've seen that more recently, like with the outbound traffic on failed logins. We've been sending out some notices to partners where we've seen some really, as those inbound attacks have gone up, we've also seen some outbound activity. And so really invite you to pay attention to those outbound malicious notification reports and see if you can figure out what's going on in your network. And if you can't, let us know. We're happy to help where we can and try to get the visibility there. In terms of bringing the program Community Shield Plus to market, we've introduced a new approach. We call it our ambassador program. And we've done that also in concert with our MSP program. So the ambassador program is our approach to help drive this advantage of the Community Shield Plus into the marketplace, where there's no upfront money for your customer. A new customer, they'll buy the hardware, the software, they'll implement the service, and really it's a huge path to profitability for our partners. No upfront commitments. There's 45-day guarantee window for that for new customers. And so we're really eliminating the complexity and cost of offering a fully mature cybersecurity service to smaller environments. And the goal is to offer the customer really the flexibility, to do a self-service, do-it-yourself Community Shield Plus if they'd like, buy the infrastructure, the Wi-Fi, the router, deploy the agents, and do it themselves and associate that with our partner, and then add a professional plan for what I call an MSP Lite, where the partner has a modest remote incident response services support relationship that then they can grow into a custom MSP plan. So by adding that service attachment, we're lowering the risk, lowering the barrier for new customer acquisition. We're trialing this in Charlotte with our partners here, and we're going to be excited to share the outcomes of our marketing team that's putting a rapid go-to-market plan in place here. And so we'll keep you posted on that. But we think that the complexity of cybersecurity, the cost of cybersecurity being bundled with a full service MSP plan is a barrier to adoption for many smaller sites. So we're going to test that thesis here in Charlotte with our partners, and we'll keep you apprised. But of course, we also have the Community Shield Plus available on our traditional MSP plan as an add-on service. You don't need to build a SOC. You don't need to add another stack. Literally, you just need to activate the service. We do the log forwarding. We'll set up the M365 log relay for you. You just have to deploy the SentinelOne endpoint agent, and then everything's done for you. So you maintain full account control, zero integration required. You've got a separate workflow for your cybersecurity offering that can integrate easily with your PSA platform as well by email integration. So when you look back at what we put together, I want to kind of reiterate these 4 core capabilities that are required. The security infrastructure, we're expanding, adding the version 7 to 7.1. We're adding new models. We've added the associated devices. On the management platform, we've got the partner portal enhancements with the managed account, with the contacts, the communications and incident response planning, as well as the rules of engagement. We've got the CCM enhancements, which will continue to expand, particularly around particular feature capabilities that you can activate from CCM. And then as we do that, we're looking to leverage the data access with the persistent connection of CCM to your firewalls, that they have access to the stored data that's stored locally. So if there are particular items that you want to investigate or troubleshoot, we're eager to use the systems that are in the marketplace today to help you do that easily. And then we've added the customer Community Shield Plus portal, where the customer will be able to see, if they want, their security cases and the resolutions, so that they know that you're doing the job for them that they're paying for. And then on the Community Shield Plus, that's the cohesive monitoring with the 24/7 managed XDR with real person investigations, and continuing to expand the threat intelligence. So that's kind of how those kind of pieces lay back in together. Appreciate the continued support, sponsorship, and look forward to feedback and helping you with these advancements and new service and offerings. If there are things that were not mentioned that you're interested in, please do let us know. We're eager to build the tools and the services that you need to help you protect, secure, and manage your clients. That is our passion, is helping you each and every day. Thank you very much.